There's this cool stat where it's like the Vikings haven't trailed for less than like 5 minutes this season. Like they've led every single game that they've been in. They've won every game. Isaiah, that doesn't mean they didn't have to make it stressful yesterday for some fans.
No, they definitely stressed it out a little bit. But at the end of the day, these guys are 3-0 in the NFC.
Yeah.
And they're 4-0 in general. Listen, I think it's time that we have to put some respect on Sam Darnold's name. I'm just saying. I don't know how everybody's feeling out there, but Sam Darnold is doing what he needs to do to put these guys in position to win ball games. Talk about somebody who was the 3rd pick overall back in 2018. He didn't have a great start to his career. He jumped around from the Jets to the Carolina Panthers to San Francisco, and now he finds himself in Minnesota, where they brought him in to be the backup to the 10th overall pick in J.J. McCarthy, and now all of a sudden he finds himself in a starting position, and all he's doing is just balling, finding his guys, making good decisions. He has 11 touchdowns already, almost 70% completion rate. These guys are winning ball games the hard way, and they're doing it with somebody that was highly unexpected, but now he is able to step into the fold, and these guys are trusting in their new QB1.
It's a historic start in that it was so unlikely and unexpected. Now, in that building, the Vikings would tell you, none of this is unexpected. We believe in ourselves and rah, rah, you know, whatever. Yeah. Since 2000, no team has started 4-0 who's had as low a projected win total by Las Vegas than what this Vikings team. They're supposed to win 6 games this year. They're already 4-0. And to your point, Isaiah, they're 4-0 and they've beaten the 49ers, the Texans, and went into Green Bay and beat the Packers with their starting quarterback. Those are 3 teams that everyone had as a Super Bowl contender before the season. It is a historic start. And I know the scoreboard tells you what it does and they give all these points, but like, what Flores has done from the defensive side isn't being talked about because this defense was causing problems for Jordan Love right out of the gates, intercepting passes. They had him up 28-0 and were rattling Love's cage. And this is in Green Bay after, you know, Love took another week to get ready. After last week, he might have been able to go and said, let's give it one more week with Malik Willis. I'll just say this. You look at that Shanahan offense, and I say that as a big tree, like the Shanahan offense. Sure. They've now beaten the Texans, where Bobby Slowick runs the Shanahan offense. They've beaten the Packers, where Matt LaFleur essentially runs a combination of the Shanahan offense. And they have now beaten the 49ers, where Shanahan obviously runs the offense. Brian Flores has found a way to stop those offenses. Those are the hardest offenses to stop in the league. That's the hard stuff. The rest will come easy. They've gotten through a gauntlet of a schedule, and they are 4-0, the best start ever for a team to be projected with as little wins before the season as they are. Kudos to them. Am I a believer? Well, I believe what I see. Like, they look great. It's a long season, and usually Las Vegas and the rest of us pundits are not crazily, wildly off on this. The 99 Rams are the last team that I think that came from absolutely nowhere and just, like, steamrolled the league and won a Super Bowl. This would be that equivalent with how unlikely this squad is.
Well, the unlikely, what are the undefeated teams still standing here? We have the back-to-back world champs. We have the Vikings, and then we'll see what Seattle does tonight against Detroit. It's unbelievable. To your point, Peter, even if you were really optimistic about the Vikings, even if you were really excited, I don't think literally anyone in the world had 4-0. 3-1, sure, maybe. Listen, the Steelers fans probably thought they could start 3-0. The Seahawks fans, the Chiefs fans. I don't think the Vikings fans thought 4-0 was unbelievable. And I'm trying to resist using this phrase that's just everywhere now, but then when I watch the Vikings, the vibes are immaculate, guys. I finally said it. I hate that phrase, and it's too ubiquitous, but it is true. Like, even if you're a RedZone watcher, game to game in the early window, there's such a tone shift when it goes to certain teams. Like yesterday, every time that Scotty would go to the Vikings, there's a positivity and there's a body language, and it's not only when it's scoring touchdowns, they just have it together. And I look at the coach. Now, listen, he goes to East Rutherford yesterday in the Jets game. Like, the vibes are not great there. There's all kinds of weird stuff, and some of it was the weather, and we'll talk about the Jets today. The Vikings just have this deal where they feel a positivity coming off of them. I will also say, like, week 4 is also a comeback down to earth week. The Bills got destroyed. The Steelers lost to Joe Flacco and the Colts. Like, they got knocked off. And if you thought the Vikings were going to go to Lambeau and Jordan Love is back, well, they started out 28-0. It could not have been different. So I understand, like, maybe that they're not going to win the Super Bowl yet, but this is not 2-0. This is not 3-0. I do have to say, like, Peter, you had a very, very loaded sentence after you hyped them in the coaching and defense where you said, well, it's a long season. Yeah. Like, what's the subtext on it's a long season? Go ahead and put it on the table.
There's ups and downs. And what we do in this network and what we do, like I was watching last night, Chris Rose asks our colleague David Carr, like, are the Commanders going to win the NFC East? It's too soon. Like, we can't do that yet. And Carr was like, and I'm with David Carr on that. Are the Vikings going to win the NFC North? I don't know yet. And I think it's fair to say, let's just play the games and enjoy them. But they're playing as well as anybody in the league right now. What
used to be the exhale on the long season for the Vikings is the fact that you had that game at Lambeau in late December that you're like, it's coming. We got to go through Lambeau. It's done. They went to Lambeau. They already won. They did it in September. Now the next time they have to see the Packers in the regular season might be at home. One thought. Justin Jefferson was great, but one thought I wanted to share is that if you're watching our show today, you're a football fan, you probably watched Alabama, Georgia on Saturday. I saw this great tweet that was like, you know how good you have to be offensively if you're Kalen DeBoer running this offense to make a Kirby Smart defense confused? Like, that's how I see this, what Brian Flores is doing to all the Shanahan offenses. Like, do you know how good you have to be defensively to continue to take down this offensive tree? Really, really good, okay? Also, that Alabama-Georgia game, Alabama tried to give it up like the Vikings did, and they did not. So it all comes full circle. All right?